Hello friends, this is Vijay Bambani. I hope you're staying safe indoors in the second round of the COVID lockdowns. And this special video is normally something that I don't normally do on Mondays. But knowing that my viewers must be anxious about the precipitous fall in the Nifty and the Bank Nifty today, I thought I owed you some word of what's happening, why it happened, and what you can expect here onwards. So I noticed on my screen that the Nifty is down 525 points. The Bank Nifty has lost over 1,650 points. The Sensex lost 1,700 odd points. Now, why did it really happen, and what can you expect going forward? Now, you see, in my weekly market outlook videos, there is a reason, there's a logical reason why I cover bond yields, the US dollar index, the USD INR, oil prices. I talk about inflation, because all these factors are married to each other. There is a pull and push between one asset class on the other, a message which is lost out on retail traders. I'm basically trying to appeal to the thoughtful traders amongst us, those who want to know the reason of what happens and why, and those who are basically serious-minded market participants who would basically understand our thought process, and with whom I'm happy to share that I've added so many more new contacts with like-minded people on my social media accounts. And I'm thankful, I'm glad that you guys are connecting with me so that we can take this to the next level. We guys are a bunch of thoughtful people who would like to stay ahead of the market, the rest of the curve, and this video, or all my videos as a matter of fact, are basically to attract that kind of market participants. So why did it happen? First of all, there was a convergence, or what we call in technical analysis parlance, confluence, coming together of various factors. If you actually saw the market, which is opened at 9 o'clock, the commodity market and the currency market, of course, open on the dot at 9, whereas actually speaking, the equity market starts trading at 9:15. So there is that 15-minute window period which would tell you how the markets will possibly open. The fact that I saw the US dollar, the USD INR on the NSE currency derivative segment open with a spring in its step, which means the dollar opened higher, that time itself it was sort of sure that the markets were likely to fall as soon as they opened. Of course, the SGX Qs were definitely bearish, but then do remember that many a times the SGX can be a fairly misleading indicator or an inaccurate indicator sometimes. So, number one, the fact was that the dollar opened higher. This meant that there would be pressure, and I've already explained to you in my weekly market outlook videos, India is a net importing nation. Whatever we import, especially oil and gas, will become more expensive. Inflation will rise, and therefore there would be greater pressure on the economy. Compound that, of course, the COVID lockdowns and the severity of the cases, we have now crossed the number of infections per day significantly higher than what they were at the peak of calendar year 2020. So, of course, that is a worry also. But the other factors, financial markets look at financial triggers, and the dollar itself was the first trigger. The next thing that I saw was that industrial metals, or what is known as base metals, opened weaker. Now, these are a proxy or an indicator of industrial manufacturing activity. The fact that industrial metals opened lower told you that the Nifty 50, which is a broader base index as compared to the Bank Nifty, we were sort of confirmed that the Nifty 50 would open lower. Third aspect, the SGX was obviously pointing to triple-digit losses. So even if it was wrong by 50%, there would at least be double-digit losses on the Nifty. And The other area that we started looking and collecting HUMINT or human intelligence was that there were already news bits floating around about a power outage in an Iranian nuclear facility where Iran was pointing fingers at Israel. Geopolitical tension. And then the Houthis have claimed to attack Saudi Aramco's oil infrastructure using missiles or drones. We are not clear at that point in time in the morning, but this was again a fiery indicator that it would make an already nervous market even more nervous. So oil prices being up added to the misery of the equity markets. Now here is a technical point which people omitted. Wednesday is a holiday, which means that there would be a merger of the settlement cycle. So what you buy today need not be or could not be sold tomorrow because of the merger of so many of these settlements, which means it was automatically assumed that bottom fishing would actually be curtailed, which is why you saw the markets fall right till the end. There was no buying momentum coming in. And there is again a fear factor. Now, because day after tomorrow, Wednesday, is a holiday due to Baba Saheb Ambedkar's Jayanti, tomorrow, which is Tuesday, will technically act like a weekend. Before the weekend, people are not very comfortable buying. So on Tuesday also, I expect buying momentum to be very, very weak, if at all it is going to come tomorrow. So be very careful, and I would say that it is, if you want to make a mistake, it is better to err on the side of caution rather than err on the side of aggression. Let's not be aggressive and try to bottom fish. Now take a look at the Nifty daily chart on your screen. You can see that it's below its 25-day exponential moving average, and what we do need to see is the low, the intraday low of 25th of March, which was significant both in the case of Nifty 50 and the Bank Nifty. In the cash segment, this low was 14,264 levels. If at all the market closes below this and remains below the 14,264 levels sustainably, I have a feeling the bears are in for some more drubbing. On your screen now is a Bank Nifty chart, and in my weekly market outlook newsletters, I have been telling you since 3 weeks that the Bank Nifty is relatively weaker than the Nifty 50, and the 25th March swing low on the Bank Nifty in the spot segment is far lower as compared to the Nifty 50's swing low, and the Bank Nifty swing low of 25th March is 32,415. Unless and until the bulls take the Bank Nifty above 32,415 and keep it there for a couple of trading sessions, do not even entertain the thought of buying for short-term trading. If you're buying for long-term investment, that is a totally different ball game altogether. I'm addressing short-term traders here. All right. Now, if you would have noticed, both these indices have been trading below the peaks that they made in the middle of February. Those peaks have never been reached. Now, this is something that some people have failed to understand, and they always tell me that I'm either overly cautious or sometimes I sound bearish to them. That is not a fact. I'm a rationalist. I see what the screen tells me, and for 2 months I'm seeing that the peaks are unable to be surpassed. Now the problem that the armchair experts don't realize is that for a real world trader, when you go long in any future, and the Bank Nifty and the Nifty are primarily futures instruments, even though you can take delivery of their ETFs, but volumes in the future far exceed the ETFs. So if you were to go long in February, you would have paid cost of carry from Feb to March and March to April. So that increased your carry cost, your holding on cost. And that means that the bulls are under even more pressure than what you think it is. It's not a mathematical simplicity of taking the February high and today's low and saying, oh, the loss is this much. Add to it, please, the carry forward expenses, brokerage, GST, cost of carry, etc., and you will realize that the bulls are under serious pressure. What should you do on Tuesday? Don't bottom fish. How will the market open? I wish I knew. But I can hazard a guess that tomorrow, even up to the close, unless some unforeseen circumstances come in which we do not know now, because of a holiday on Wednesday, there is a possibility. I'm using the word possibility rather than guarantee here because I don't deal in guarantees. I know the stock market deals in probabilities. The probability is that the severe kind of declines that you have seen today, mathematically speaking, will not be reversed in one day. So tomorrow also I do expect a sell on rallies kind of fearful market, very, very nervous market, and therefore you, my friends, should be very careful out there. This video is primarily recorded for my friends and viewers who've been with me, and I wanted to alert you about avoiding aggressive bottom fishing for short-term trades. If you're an investor who's looking for 10, 12, 15-year long horizon investments, that becomes a different ball game, even though I don't know why you would want to deploy money unless you see concrete signs of the market bottoming out and reversing. So let's be careful out there. Friends, let's play safe. It's our money, and money is our freedom to trade. If we lose that money, so do we lose our freedom to trade. Play a very, very safe game. Have a profitable day ahead. This is Vijay Bambwani signing off for now. Thank you for watching. If you liked my videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would love to hear from you on my social media accounts. My contact coordinates are on your screen. Let's connect, help each other become more thoughtful, aware, and more clued on investors and traders. Thank you for watching my video. Take care. Bye-bye.